Hey everyone, so it's been a couple days since we brought these two new ponies home from the auction, and they're doing really good. We didn't get home till really late that night. It was like 2:30 in the morning, so super late night, especially for me because I do not like staying up late. And then the next morning, I actually had to leave for the day bright and early. Like I was out of here by I think 7:30. So I didn't even get to film the ponies, you know, their first initial moments here on the homestead. That night that we got home, we didn't want to keep the Stallion and Mare together because they didn't come off of the same farm. So we left the little Stallion in the horse trailer for the night. Of course, we gave him, you know, food and water and put some bedding down for him. And then the little Mare we didn't have any other horses in the round pen, so she went into the round pen. So because we didn't get any clips that first day, we're going to skip ahead to the next day, the couple following days. We got them out and of course groomed them, got the auction stickers off of them, just little things like that. I'll show you where we're keeping each of them and kind of how we're taking care of them. And then here at the end of the video, we'll do a name announcement because believe it or not, we have already named them, which I'm totally surprised about. So usually it seems like it takes a while for us to come up with names, but JR named the little Stallion and thought of it on the drive home that night, and it just suited him so perfect that it was a no-brainer. And it's kind of weird because I never would have thought JR would come up with this name. Okay, so two things that we have found out about this girl is one, she doesn't really like to stand when she's tied, but if you start brushing her, then she calms right down and she loves to be brushed. So I've been brushing a lot. The other thing, JR's over here trying to get some pictures of her spine. So there's actually a hump in her spine right here, if you can see that, different angles maybe. And then it's slight, if you look from the top of her to the back of her, it's actually curved a little bit. There, you can see it on this side more, the hump in her spine there. Yeah, it's pretty obvious right there. I guess there's no telling what it's from. Could be injury, could be just, you know, well, how she was born. I don't know.
She was saying there's pain here.
Mm-hmm.
They try to go down away from the pain, which causes that up. It's called a hunter jumper's bump. So like maybe she had too much weight on her right here, and it's caused these ribs to be hurting.
Oh,
and
so
she's going down from these ribs, which is pushing that up. So she said to massage these ribs down, like that, and then to do belly scratches to get her to raise her back up.
Okay.
And then to put liniment right here.
Okay, and JR is saying he just got off the phone with a chiropractor that we've already called.
As far as we could tell, she didn't seem to be in any pain from this issue. JR talked to the chiropractor for quite a while, which we were very thankful for, and we're going to take her in as soon as we can to get her adjusted. We spent a little bit more time brushing her out because she just absolutely loved it. We also made sure to get that auction sticker off of her, and she had a lot of sticky goo on it, so I used coconut oil to kind of loosen it up a bit, but it still wouldn't come off, so I ended up having to cut it out, which it cut out fairly easy. There's no sore or anything like that on her.
We cut it off.
And her hoofs definitely need a good trim, but we didn't want to overdo it on the first day, her being here, stressing her out too much. So we'll probably wait a couple days before we do that.
So the other thing, yesterday at the sale, she had so much goo coming out of her eyes, and they are pretty red too. So I don't know, 100% if it's pink eye, but we are going to have to keep this little girl in quarantine. So we made her a little temporary pen in the yard that she will be staying in.
So we decided to keep the Mare and little Stallion separate, just as a precaution for the first few days, especially because this little Mare, her eyes are very inflamed. You can't tell from the videos, but if you look at the whites of her eyes, open it up, they're just like bright red, and they've been oozing. So we want to keep an eye on her, just make sure there's nothing that's going to pass to the other horses. So she's going to stay in this little temporary pen. We can move it around the yard. We'll do that a couple times a day. And then, if it's going to rain or we'll have bad weather, of course, we would take her into the barn. And then if it gets too hot, we have some trees with shade that we'll put her under. This was a really nice, cool day. So she stayed out here for a good part of the afternoon and was very happy. So this little girl will be on her own for a couple weeks until we let her join the pony herd. We're going to keep her on antibiotics for about a week. She's getting electrolytes, all the fresh water she can have, and of course a little bit of grass and some hay if she needs it. Surprisingly, by the next day, like 24 hours getting her home, her eyes were actually pretty much cleared up. The inflamed redness had left, and she didn't really have much goo at all. So we think she may have had an irritation, maybe to a spray or all the dust at the sale. So we're very thankful that, you know, it didn't turn into anything bigger, and she looks like she's good to go in that area. And then the little stud is going to be staying up in the pony barn. He has his own little stall up there. So this is where we have the little boy. Big old bad stallion. He really likes Winnie and Daisy, and he's not happy because he wants to be out with them. I mean, he is so cute, but you do have to remember he's a stallion. Like, because I have Winnie and Daisy up at night because they're getting a little too plump, so I'm taking them off the grass for part of the day. But I had to open the gate and let him come through here. And Winnie, of course, came over here and flirted with him. Just couldn't handle it. She's too pretty, huh? I'm letting the ponies out, or the girls out, and then shutting the gate so they can't get in here and touch noses with him yet. And then over here, they have the dry lot. And during the day, he can get out. But at night, when I'm putting them up, I'm shutting this door so they can't get together. But I think the goal is just to keep him in here for a couple weeks. He seems really healthy. The only issue would be, like, if he picks something up from the auction barn. And then we also went ahead and dewormed all 4 ponies, so they're all on the same schedule with that. And then we may even do another follow-up dewormer in about 2 weeks.
Okay.
We also went ahead and ended up working on the little mare's hoofs as fast as we could because we noticed that she was kind of favoring one of her front ones. And she ended up having a little bit of an abscess that JR had to cut out. And when he did, it started bleeding everywhere. It got all over her, all over JR. She turned into quite a mess. And let me tell you, this little girl doesn't behave very well to get her hoofs worked on. JR had quite the time, so she needs worked with in that area. But we did get them all trimmed up nicely. We got her foot wrapped, put some gauze in there with some medicine for the night, and she was feeling much better by the next morning. So this little girl, she definitely has some quirks and, you know, some things she needs to work through. Like, she doesn't want to stand when she's tied. She kind of gets mad about that and will have a bit of a fit. And she kind of has a bit of a spooky side, like, say, the ATV would come in or just something loud. At times she'll kind of freak out a little bit. And when she does that, it actually takes her a moment to gain trust back in you, which is a little odd, but as soon as you get down and pet her, she'll be fine again. She leads okay, but there's a few things she does that makes me think that maybe she hasn't really been handled that much. But I wanted to show you all this video really quick. She was in the round pen because it was raining, and she doesn't have a lead rope on, but she's just following wherever we would go. She would want to follow. It was really sweet. Here, look at this. She just follows. No, she's not. She's just... Watch, I stop and she stops. I can't even get a video of her, though. Hold still. Hold still. Man, I have her trained really good. This is my round pen lesson with her, Becca. Let's see if she runs. Come on.
Poor little horse. He just wants to run.
It's pretty funny. She sure isn't very easy to film, though. So the name that we chose for this little guy that JR came up with on the drive home from the auction is Flynn Rider off of the movie Rapunzel. JR said he acts just like him, and I think he does too. But the problem was we were calling him Flynn or Rider, but neither of them like really stuck. And then Becca came up with the idea of calling him Eugene, which on that cartoon, Flynn Rider, his actual real name is Eugene. And for some reason, that just seems to work. So his name is Flynn Rider, but we're going to call him Eugene. And then I'm sure you have already guessed the little mare's name. We're going to call her Rapunzel. It just kind of suited her. We don't usually go with themes or anything like that for names, but it just kind of happened and Rapunzel suited her, so we went with it. She's sweet as can be and just absolutely adorable. We are super excited to get this quarantine process out of the way so we can get all 4 of the ponies together, let them get to know each other. It's going to be a lot of fun. Once we put them together, we definitely will do a video for you all. So in the meantime, if you haven't, make sure to subscribe to the channel and turn on your notifications. That way you won't miss the video. And if you haven't, make sure to check us out on Patreon. We do a lot of uploads over there during the week. Just very rough, unedited stuff. But it's a lot of fun and kind of keeps you more up to date on a day-to-day basis with the horses here on the homestead. So make sure to check it out and we'll see you over there.